Hey, I'll just want to come in here and explain here real quick, in case it's not contextualized enough in the beginning here. This is a panel I did at TwitchCon 2024. It's the subtle science of emotes. It's a panel that I was invited on by Ash Said Hi, along with the talented panelists you'll see throughout the whole video here. The panel itself is generally about like the breakdown about Twitch emotes themselves, you know, how they just kind of like are the main distinguisher of Twitch culture, the reason why you enjoy reading a Twitch chat versus completely ignoring a YouTube live stream as one of many examples of the prevalent culture in Twitch that's currently present, breaking down what makes an emote good, what makes it bad, why they work the way they do, and honestly for me, maybe a hot take here, how, you know, generally Twitch chat doesn't actually know what they want out of emotes. That's for you, the broadcaster, to figure out and diagnose. So it's a pretty dank panel, and I have a lot I want to say more about emotes. So if you want to see like a deeper dive into like my emotes, drop a like, let me know. I'll be happy to look into making that video eventually here. But for now, enjoy the vid.
Oh, is my mic? Oh, the microphone is on. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, we got a countdown clock, but I just wanted to talk to y'all for a minute before this goes live and tell you how much I appreciate your presence today and coming to our panel. This is something that we are all extremely passionate about. So we're so happy to, oh, we got the camera now. Hello, welcome to TwitchCon San Diego 2024. Hi, everyone.
Hey. Yo.
It's so great to have you here. We are so excited to talk about emotes. As I was saying, this is a topic we are extremely passionate about. And I don't think I've ever seen an emote panel at TwitchCon. So we got some legends on the stage right now that's gonna bring you some extremely insightful information. So welcome to the subtle science of emotes. My name is Ash Said Hi. I am a Twitch ambassador, also one of the co-leads for the Twitch Women's Guild. And thank you. I am joined by some incredible, amazing leaders in this space. So I want y'all to go down the line and introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do here on Twitch.
Okay, are we doing this like counter reverse clockwise order?
Oh, I guess we are. We're going to go down the line.
Okay, all right. Well, what's up, y'all? I'm trihex. I'm your favorite global emote. You probably see my face smiling with the big afro and a couple of chats here or there of the last God knows how long and whatnot. Glad to be here. I'm uniquely a veteran. I've been at Twitch since before Twitch was Twitch, back when it was JTV, so I'm a certified boomer. And I'm happy to give you the lowdown on the lore of how the science of emotes has evolved in the last 10 plus years. So buckle up, it's gonna be a trip.
Thank you.
Hi folks, I'm Phenomenon. I'm the guy that has those blue bears you see everywhere on Twitch. Partner streamer, love retro games. I have ADHD and I love to advocate and represent folks who are neurodivergent to show you all what hardworking folks with a little neurospicy can do. Looking forward to talking to you all.
Awesome, thank you.
Hello, everybody. Some really tough acts to follow here. I'll do my best. I'm a Burrito Art. I usually go by Burrito. I've been streaming since 2016, making emotes since 2016. I also work at Elgato. I love everything about emotes. And some of you may have seen Gritty Goose. I made Gritty Goose and 5 of the newest Hype Train emotes, as well as Bag of Memes and Mind Manners for Twitch, as well as emotes for a bunch of streamers throughout the years. And I'm just so excited to have such an incredible group here to talk to you guys all about it.
Yay. Woo. Everyone in chat, I want to see you spam Gritty Goose right now.
If there's
you
not
got
Gritty
it.
Goose in the chat right now, then you guys failed us. That's all I'm saying.
Hi everybody, I'm Ugu Bear. I am also a Twitch ambassador and a VTuber here in the flesh. This is my disguise. I've been making emotes since 2015 with a lot of streamers, and my most favorite project ever was working on the Overwatch League emotes for 2019. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be here and share my knowledge with you all, and everybody else here is really amazing, and I'm just excited.
Awesome. Ugu also has a booth here in Artist Alley, so you got to make sure you visit for sure. So with that, these are the topics we're going to get into today. Emote culture on Twitch, communicating through emotes, working with emote artists, emote trends, successful emote examples, animated emotes, and advice for emote creation. Because this is such a packed show, we've got a lot of information. We won't be doing Q&A, but we will hang out after the panel for a few minutes to answer any of your questions afterwards. So with that, let's get into the first topic. Why are emotes a big part of Twitch culture? And I'm going to open that up to trihex first and then Finn.
Well, thank you. So emotes are a big part of Twitch culture, to me, mostly because they're an extension of your self-expression. And this is kind of where I want to slow it down a little bit to kind of go into the deeper lore here. Because you see, back in like 2011, when Twitch first debuted back in July of 2011, emotes were like this like magical thing that like just made the chat blow up here. Like genuinely baiting someone to, oh, Kappa, that's gray face, no space. That was like, everyone fell for that. Because everyone wanted to do Kappa so bad because just the magic of it was like not like solidified in like common lexicon of like text-based communication. So it was like, super nuts. You were able to like take a bloated sentence and then just convey it with like a different level of sauce with adding an emote to it. So just like, that's why Twitch culture is just so different. It's why you're excited to like consume a Twitch chat versus, shots fired here, versus like a YouTube comment section, It just hits different all the way through.
Awesome. Finn, what do you have to add to that?
Well, for me, I think the biggest part that makes them such a large part of Twitch's culture is they offer the chat a means of self-expression that they aren't otherwise able to convey. They can see me, they can hear me, they have those cues, but we don't, and nor do the other viewers. So emotes are a way to react, to show those emotions that you can't otherwise, and to feel more connected to whatever it is that's happening.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I definitely feel like, for me, emotes are super special on Twitch because a lot of the places you don't get that same kind of emote experience like, the other platforms. Like, this is where visual things in the chat shine. So, emote etiquette. How should emotes be used in chat respectfully? And again, I'm going to start with trihex because I know you got a lot to talk about here.
Yeah. So okay. Thanks for that opener here. So this is a bit complicated because chat etiquette to me is like a learned behavior that like comes from the community. Like when you first drop in, you're checking what other people in that chat are posting and why, right? But also by extension, the ethics of what's enforced by what the chat is doing is coming from the community leader, the streamer. So the chat's gonna do stuff, but what the chat is like allowed to do and what's tolerated is coming from effectively the conductor, you the streamer. So whether you react to it, laugh at it, or scold it, these are all like learned behaviors that are coming over time here, which will define your emote etiquette. You can kind of see here where some chats just go completely crazy versus others that have a much more like refined and reserved usage on certain things and certain topics altogether, right? So, with that though, if I may here, the golden rule I always have with emotes is that like an emote etiquette is gonna be like, is the emote usage assisting in like what you're trying to infer? Like, does it make the intent of your message more complicated and like ambiguous? Or is it helping refine exactly how to understand what you're saying here? Like, are you using Kappa to like be sarcastic and laugh with me? Or are you condescending and laughing at me? So that's kind of how I'll go from there.
Awesome. I agree because, like you said, you're setting the tone. And because a lot of our communication is simply through text and usually one way, you got to be able to set the tone with how you use those pictures. And especially one emote can mean one thing in one community and something else and be straight up banned in others, So, Finn, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I actually have a point of view from the other side. I had an emote that was rather popular, and it was literally an emote called ADHD, and it was designed to show just, how bouncy the thought process can be and to show excitement. And it had a very high frame rate. But when Twitch introduced those power-ups, which I love, the Gigantify emote power-up, was a lot of fun, that speed and size in the chat was starting to cause sensory issues for some people. So after a few complaints of that, I had to actually get rid of that emote because I didn't want anyone to actually encounter health issues just because they were seeing something that was too visually stimulating. So the etiquette there goes both ways, both chat and streamer.
Yeah, absolutely true. And something very important to consider, accessibility and how that impacts us. So the next thing, we love emotes. Emotes help us connect and communicate with each other. It can be difficult to interpret every emotion conveyed exclusively through text. Emotes add an extra layer of nuanced emotion, conviction through visual language. This accelerates the capability of communication and ideally results in less lurking, less friction to gather the courage to engage with chat, and a higher diversity of active chatters via quality emotes. As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah,
Rito,
and if I can add something here, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, then an emote's worth 1,000,000 words, right? Because this is you're not only speaking to the streamer when you're using emotes in chat, you're speaking to everybody else in chat as well.
Yes.
It's not just you and the streamer. So when you see those awesome moments of like someone hitting a world record or, someone just hit their big goal and everybody in chat is coming together with that hype emote, with that party emote, with that dance emote, those are those really special moments that build community for streamers on Twitch.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially you get a hype train going, you see golden kappa everywhere. That is so exciting. It's a really great way to kind of party with your crew. I love that. So with this, what features makes an emote appealing? And I want to hear from the emote artists we got up here on stage. So take it away, Brito, Ugu.
So I'm going to tell a little story really quickly about when I first started making emotes in 2015. I was an artist, so I was very used to doing big illustrations, and I got asked to draw some emotes for a friend. And he told me the sizes, and I was like, oh, this seems like a challenge, but I'm down to try it. I tried to make them, and it was the worst experience of my life. I was like, these are so small, and you have to put so many details into them, and they just don't translate. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. And that was wrong. I ended up doing it for a very long time, but it had to come down to me learning about shape languages and colors and like really try to simplify things so that it translates from being this big to about this big in a Twitch chat and is still visually appealing. You can really identify all the things that are in it. So it was a very big learning curve, but basically simple is better.
Yeah, because the smallest emote, what is it, like 18 by 18 pixels?
28 by 28.
28. That's not a lot of pixels, so you got to
18
get
by 18 is crazy. Don't make us do that, please.
right. Like you got to get a
don't
lot
worry,
of detail.
badges are 18.
Yeah. Brito, do you have anything to add to what features make an emote appealing?
Yeah, I mean, an emote should be something that's really true to your community, right? So even if you could come up with the most beautifully interesting, emote ever, the really silly, really funny looking one might be the one they love the most, right? So to make an emote appealing for your community, it should really be true to who you are as a streamer, true to the content you make, and something that the community can just grab onto as their own and use in their own way. So to make an emote that will really stand out in your chat, just make it fun, make it usable, make it entertaining.
Awesome. I love that. Let's give everybody a few examples of some good emotes here. Look at that. Oh, we got some good examples. That's the Finny Bear yelling. Like we said, I see Finny Bear everywhere. But the thing that I want to point out here is the high fidelity expressions tend to work really well. And they have to do the talking for us, right? Yeah. So that's some really, really good examples of some beautiful emotes there. I love that. I love that. So let's talk more to the emo artist and say, as an emo artist, describe the best communication practices clients should use to hire you for work.
All right, so the first thing is definitely make sure that you find an emo artist whose style you like, right? You don't want to reach out to somebody and ask them to emulate a different style because, ultimately, if you want to have a good relationship with an emo artist, you should make sure that they're the person that you want to work with. If you want a different style, maybe go to that artist instead or somebody else who's more similar to that style. Other than that, just remember, artists, we're working professionals, respect our work. We also respect you as our clients. So just make sure to be, timely in your responses, be very clear in your communication, which is something I'm sure we both experienced a lot, as well as just making sure that, you keep a good relationship with your emote artists. You know, they're there to help you out. They want your community to have these really cool things, and also make sure to credit them on Twitch. It's so cool. You can attribute your emotes, and I'll say from personal experience, Twitch, huge shout out to whoever decided this. For the Hype Train emotes that just came out earlier this year, they added emote attributions for the artists that were involved, and I have since I didn't stream for a couple months right after, and I got hundreds of followers offline. Now every single time I stream, I've had at least like 5 to 10 people come in saying that they love Gritty Goose, that their community is like trying to get hype trains running to get Gritty Goose. They come into the chat with their version of Gritty Goose. It's awesome. So emo attributions are just a really kind way to, you know, pay it forward to the artist you're working with.
And yeah, I just want to add, as artists, we want to help create what you want. So the clearer you tell us your ideas, we're very willing to work with you. What I tell clients that I work with is, if you see an emote that you like and you want to use it as a reference, that's a very good way to communicate. If you're not good at describing, I'm very visual, so it helps a lot. But yeah, we want to make what you want. So don't be afraid to tell us if you don't like something or if you want changes. We're very willing to work with you.
So should I just message you, hi?
No.
How about I ask you how much? And then you tell me a price and then I ghost you.
I'll be very sad, but it's good to just kind of be upfront about what you want. Just tell us, like, if you're interested, how many you would like, maybe a budget, and we'll communicate with you. It's just better to be upfront and not just kind of lingering with your messages. Don't be afraid.
I also want to point out, artists don't get paid in exposure, you know.
Bars.
For real. So let's talk about some common problems to avoid. Like we went over, unclear direction when making a request. You know, the more information you can give, the better your job is going to turn out, the less revisions you have to make. Expecting unlimited revisions. Yeah, please don't do that. Time is money, you know? Unrealistic deadline turnarounds. Don't say I need something tomorrow. Like, it takes us time to make good art, and we want to serve you well. Ghosting, especially during payment time. Yes. Come on. That is very cringe. Requesting too many details. Realistically consider you have 28 by 28 pixels, and the smallest emote resolution has to look just as good as the biggest one. So that's how you would build a successful relationship. Would you agree? Yep.
I'd absolutely agree.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So, what are some emote trends you consistently see? And trihex, I'm gonna ask you about this.
Well, actually, I apologize here. I should have interjected because I would have loved to have brought up here on the other side, right? The artists were telling clients how to behave. Can I take a second to tell the clients how to listen? Clients, I know everyone here, you need banger emotes to grow your channels. Obviously, it's your visual language. It's all intuitive. You all know how the Twitch culture works here. You gotta have references. Having your artist shoot in the dark for a target, clearly you have an expectation in mind here. So use references. I don't care like if you're using pictures of like Godzilla or like, you know, a car or whatever here. The more visual assistance you have in conveying your idea, the less likely you're going to be let down, the less likely you're going to have revisions, and the less likely you're going to have to like pay more to have to like do the stressful revision thing. You're trying to figure out what you want. References are your best friend here. There's nothing wrong with like being scared to embrace that.
And
okay, I'd add a real quick here.
No,
and if you're not providing references and you're giving the artist creative freedom, which is also totally fine, I just want to, you know, something else that's really important is if you're giving creative freedom, you're giving creative freedom, right? So you can absolutely, you know, make sure the emote's what you want in the end, but you know, don't be upset when they take the creative freedom.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Vin, you got something to add?
Yeah, there's something else that I always like to do, you know, speaking to references, is when I see a friend or a colleague who has a great emote, I approach them and be like, hey, can I take inspiration from this? Because I really like what's happening with this design here. And they're always receptive. You know, sometimes they'll have like, hey, try to do this and this instead. But I always like to give credit where it's due, because at the end of the day, their idea resulted in my own creation of that as well.
I like that because we're both streamers in the retro community, right? And there's like certain themes that we all kind of have. There's multiple broadcasters that have like a similar theme. And it also kind of creates like like a little sense of community when we have an idea and we all do our own riff of that idea. So that's really fun. That's a good thing to point out. So yeah, good. Thank you for adding that. So yeah, getting back to emote trends, what do y'all see? What do y'all see out in the space?
What? I'm sorry, did I cut them off? Y'all want to
No.
Oh, I apologize. Okay, sorry, 'cause I was yapping for a second
you're
there.
good. You're good.
So yeah, the emo trends I see consistently, I see generally like two categories. There's usually like the single word replacements, lol or I don't know, whatever else it may be here, right? It's a very common word usage, so you can just elevate from saying a word to now throwing out an emo, which is so much more with its contextualization capability, right? Or what I see, what I try to look for more often is like, okay, if there's like a really wordy sentence trying to convey the idea, oh, that was unexpected, but it was really, really cool. And then I see that become an emote. And I'm looking for more of those there, but generally I see those two things as trends. Complicated idea that can then become an emote, or a single word replacement that becomes an emote too. But either way, I like both a lot because it tends to see less lurking all around, which is a prosperous, healthy chat to me.
Yeah. Absolutely. Finn, what do you have to add?
The ones that I like to see a lot and do see a lot are ones that kind of touch on what I said earlier, is that ability to express some kind of emotion or reaction. And universal is best. Like wave emotes, probably one of the most common ones we see because you can use it for multiple reasons. It's a hello and a goodbye. So the emote trends are the ones that let you express those most commonly expressed, again, emotions and reactions that otherwise you couldn't do easily with just text. And it makes it a lot shorter too.
Yeah, I see a lot of people take like the Twitch global emote and make their own version of it for their own channel, because we know that those are things that people are going to recognize, but maybe we want to add a little bit of flair, like our own channel personality to that, so that way people want to use our version of it, right? So I think that goes a lot of hand in hand. Did anybody else want to add anything about emote trends you see?
I see a lot of people doing really unique ones these days, like stuff that's really specific to your stream. One that I really like you did is the writing one, your writing animated emo.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, those are things that, it comes up on the stream, like, oh, I'm like taking some notes. So I really do like that people are getting really creative these days, like different types of dance animated emotes or just things that are really specific to their stream, which I think is really cool.
Awesome. So we're going to show you some examples of that. Some trends that you can try at home. And emotes can be drawn. They can be funny photo faces, right? Brito said make sure to have those funny face emotes in there when we were creating the slides. Pets. How many out there love spamming a cat emote?
You guys have some really cute cats and we need to see them, okay? I need to use those emotes.
Exactly. I love Finn's like little sketchy lull there. That's a good one. Channel memes, your take on global emotes, common emotions like sad, or it's always a good day to be a pizza. Like that's a common expression I have all the time, Gaming, pop culture references, organic moments. You dictate what works. And the cool thing is like, when you create like that little meme in your channel, that little joke, that inside joke, like that becomes a thing that you can then share with your community and that you're known for, which makes it fun, Makes it absolutely fun. All right. So here's one thing that I don't think a lot of people know about. How many of y'all know that you can look up your emote analytics? That's okay. We got about a quarter of the people in here. Emote analytics. I'm always checking it. Do y'all look up your emote analytics?
Oh yeah.
I know, Finn, you're very scientific.
Commissions.
What do you got to say about it?
I check them frequently because the irony, and I talk to this about with other streamers a lot of the time, is the ideas that I think are going to hit usually don't, and the quote unquote throwaway ideas or the goofy weird ones usually get spammed to heck. And one of the interesting things about the analytics that I've seen a lot is the almost drastic difference in the emotes that are used within my channel versus other channels. And I'd like to pay close attention to that one.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's really, really big, actually, how you're bringing up what emotes are popular in your community versus which ones have that global appeal that don't require as much niche or inside like information to understand. That's a really, really big thing there.
Yeah.
Another thing about analytics I like here, though, this is a relatively new thing, right? This is
Yes,
like a year,
yes.
a year or two ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So-
think about last year, yeah.
As your resident boomer of Twitch, like imagine trying to figure out like what emotes work without this beforehand here, you know, the previous 8 years of me doing this, right? And the thing you always had to deal with was like the vocal minority telling you what emotes they love, but not having any like real like data empirically to figure out what to make work.
True.
So I kind of just caught on, and this might be kind of a hot take here. I kind of just concluded here that like chats don't really know what they want. You just got to surprise them and expand the pie. It's like giving them a new color they've never seen before. They don't know what emotes they like. They're overly biased towards what they're already familiar with.
True.
They want lull 2, lull 3, lull 4. They don't know what they don't want yet. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
they don't know what, I said that wrong, right?
They don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's an unknown, I don't even know, unknown, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, they, you gotta surprise them.
Yeah.
You gotta blow them away.
And that's a good point, like, because in my channel, like the hot dog emote is good within the channel, but then outside the channel is the clap. So like the clapping emote, like everybody uses that. So emote analytics is a handy tool. It can give you a good idea of what emotes people love and what you should consider swapping out. Analytics can be sorted by what's used within the channel, outside the channel. I definitely encourage you to take a look at that. So with that and data and analytics, emote suffix. I can't use it if I can't find it. Like how many of y'all go to type :hype and then you get all the hype train emotes, but any channel that has hype in the name of the suffix is like really hard to find. So that's kind of what we're building on here. And if anybody else has anything to add, please jump in. But that's one of my biggest things is like, if it's a very specific word, it might be really tough to find, but something like lol or lull or making sure that it's spelled correctly. But does anybody else have anything to add?
So when it comes to emote suffix, I'm always trying to figure out, well, there's a couple of rules here. First, you kind of want to try to fill out your alphabet. You know, when you're doing like, you know, your prefix with the colon and you get your autofills going in there, you want to make sure, to me, two things. Try to use your entire alphabet if you can. So, you know, rather than just your A's and your S's and your I's, like try to fill it all out with some like unorthodox way. One. Two, you also want to, I just had a brain fart here. I just forgot what I was going to say. Oh my God. Spelling. All right. So when it comes to try to make it so that it's as mobile friendly as possible. It's easy when you're on a keyboard, but you know, half of Twitch viewership's on mobile now, or and climbing, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So making it mobile friendly goes a very, very long way. So trying to find low syllable density, 2 to 3 syllables max. Make your alphabet unique on your starting letter on the suffix. Those are really, really good tips that go a very long way. For example, the one here is, you know, it's try yikes with a Y, which is a very uncommon starter. So when you hit that try Y, it's really easy to get there. Like Ash was saying here, using hype or lull, you have like a million things to go through, and it makes it a little bit harder to use, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. And then with that, I want to show some very good examples that we've got here. We got jam, lost, wiggle is a big favorite of mine. Love that one. Do you, Brito or Ugu, do you have any insight into what you think for this?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. You didn't put any of mine on there, and I know why, because mine are bad.
No!
I'm very no. But there's a reason for that, right? Mine are very silly, and it's like part of what I do. I literally on my emo, I'm so sorry to my community, I made a ding 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 emo where it's just how I annoy them. I'm like ding ding ding, I'm bored at everyone. So like I also want to kind of add, well, you know, you're trying to make your emotes as accessible as possible. Like I think I have a different take here, which is like streaming is not my full-time thing. I have a full-time job. Streaming is just really fun for me, and I just really enjoy building a community. So I'm not trying to hyper optimize personally. So that's why you didn't put mine on there. But I encourage you guys to have fun as well. You know, make a fun, silly emote that only you use sometimes. You know, you deserve to have fun too. Or maybe like one person in your community. Make an emote for one of your mods, right? Have fun with it. If you want to give it a really silly, very typoed name, I'm so sorry, trihex. I know you're going to judge me for this, but I'm going to typo it. I'm going to spell it really funny, weird.
I love the idea of making emotes that specifically are like fun for like certain community members, right? It really makes them feel welcome and special, and especially since we can swap emotes out pretty quickly, like, you know, with the emote dashboard.
Yeah.
That's a really great tool.
You can also do like incentives for charity streams. This is so much fun. Like you make all your emotes cursed for a month. It's really fun and really silly.
That just made me think about like when the holidays come around, people do like Halloween themed emotes.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Emote
Didn't you
sets.
do that, right?
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
I got several dozen of those now. I have the October spooky season emotes and then the winter season ones, which I try to keep as universal as I can so everyone feels included. And those are always a hit every single time. Like people get excited because I try to introduce new ones each year. So they're like, oh, what are we going to get this time? Or are we going to get a revision on an old one?
Yeah.
It's really fun. It's a really fun way to kind of freshen things up so people don't get bored with the emotes overall.
Exactly. I love the Finny Bear because it's like the Finny Bear wearing like a Halloween costume. It's so cute. I love that. Ugu, do you have something to add?
Actually, one of my most popular emotes was a leek the vegetable. I drew it in MS Paint on stream live and uploaded it at the same time. And it was very popular. It was just kind of like a spur in the moment thing, and it just worked really well with my community. And that's something that is like really great as a streamer now in 2024. We have so many emote slots. It's like incredible because back when I started making emotes, I think people had like 15 to 20 slots, and then the ability to unlock next slots was very gate kept. It was difficult. So just having so many slots available and being able to swap them out, it's been very amazing for artists and streamers alike.
Yeah, I love that.
Actually, if I can real quick here.
Yeah.
Ugu brought up actually a really potent like lore point here. Like back in like 2014, 2015, there like the initial inception of like unlocking emote slots, whereas now it's much more gradual with like, you know, affiliate and partner plus, etc. Here, you know, you just get emotes like at a linear incline of unlocking, right? Well, back in like the olden time, you know, when Ugu and I were around at that point, it was this really steep pocket between like 1,000 subs to 2,000 subs, and it was like going from like 10 slots to 15. It was very evident who was like really there. So yeah, the point being that back in the time, like you had to work with a scathingly low amount of emote slots. So I was the biggest sweat when it came to like, okay, I have 2 slots and I have to really figure out, I have like 10 ideas, but what are the 2 best ones or the 2 least bad ones here to figure out how to fill that slots. Like now it's much more like you can kind of like expand and fill your whole thing, but back then it was really tough.
Yeah.
So I think we both kind of come from the school of hard knock there because it was like working really hard with that.
Yeah.
You know, that's really similar to when the affiliate program was first launched too, because we only had 1 slot. There was no tier 2
you're
slot.
right, you're right.
Wow,
Tier 3.
I didn't
We had
even
one
know
emote
that.
I forgot about that too. You're right, actually.
So we had that like
We're
same
getting all
kind
the
of
deep lore today, y'all.
You had that same kind of like you really had to make that emote count. It had to be like
It had to be your whole personality in one emote. That's a lot of pressure.
Pretty much.
That's a lot of pressure. Yeah.
Brito.
Yeah, and also while we're talking about really awesome emotes here, I also want to add just about making emotes a part of the culture of being in your stream, right? So, you know, we've talked about reactive emotes, like, oh, you make an MS Paint drawing and then you make it an emote, but you know, sometimes these emotes can be something that you kind of instill on your community. So you're like, oh, we're doing, you guys know brain power. We're all OGs, you know, brain power, spamming that in chat. Just encouraging people to spam something at a special moment. Like, let's say you're fundraising for charity. You know, guys, you know, spam our charity emote in the chat. You build the culture of your stream,
yes.
Right? So you sometimes can be the one to instill that great emote into your own chat.
Yes, I love that. That's such a good point. So yes, emote suffixes that work. Universal, simple, describes the visual, common term for your visual, global idea. Terms that are super specific or obscure might not work so well. Words that are vague might not work so well. And, you know, just make it a part of your culture. I love that. I love that. So let's look at some awesome emote examples. I'm sure all of you out there and all the chat has some really great examples, but I want to show you all why I asked these people to be on the panel and show you their, look, Gritty Goose. I love it. The trihex, you know, the try harder, right?
Yeah, try harder, the evolution of try hard. You got it, yeah.
So good. Finn's bears, I'm telling you, I see these bears everywhere, right? And Ugu's art. So I want to hear a little bit, talk about your emotes for a little bit and why they're so awesome to you. So let's go down the line here. We'll start with Ugu.
Well, I had a new VTuber model debut last year at the beginning of the year, and so I kind of redid all of my emotes for the new outfit. And yeah, it was just a fun experience because as an artist, I always draw for a lot of different people, and so I very rarely get to draw for myself, and it was just like a really fun project to just kind of be like, yeah, I'm pretty good at this.
Awesome.
Gritty goose. My emotes, I'm so proud of the emotes that I've made for creators over the years. I think it's just such an awesome way to engage with creators. But man, Ash, you're killing me here because that second emote you put there is my MS Paint emote. You really think that's my best
It's
emote?
so good.
Wow.
That's why the pink one in the middle.
and
You
look-
did that in MS Paint?
Yeah.
Wow.
But look, what I'm saying here is like, yeah, exactly. Like that's a fun emote, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. Make your own emotes if you want to. Like nothing needs to be perfect. Like as long as you're having fun with it and you're doing something that is really true to who you are. Like we have such a wide range of emotes here, right? Like it's really got to be true to who you are for it to really resonate with your community.
Absolutely.
And
Finn,
Gritty Goose.
Tell us about Finny Bears.
Finny bears. I mean, who doesn't like cute teddy bears? That was the whole idea, right? Wanted some kind of high contrast, vibrant look to it. I really like the colors, cyan, magenta, and purple. So when I went to the first artist, I'm like, they need these three colors. Put them in there. And everybody can identify with using those emotes because they don't have any kind of exclusive identity to them. Everybody can feel included in using them, and I think that was really important in the initial design when I made them.
Awesome.
Awesome. So two of my emotes here, right? So the middle one with the tri-hypers, with the Yoshi with the hands all up, all excited and whatnot. This was a tactical choice because I saw that Pepe the Frog was just such a popular, utilized avatar of just general expressions that I was like, oh, well, there's another green thing that I like a lot. I'm gonna use Yoshi because Yoshi's my guy. So I made a tactical call to kind of adopt the Pepe model into Yoshi usage there. So I have Yoshi doing all kinds of cute expressions in my emotes. But the one I want to kind of take a second to talk about here was Try Doubt. I'm really proud of that one because if you remember, I alluded earlier to the idea of like a really wordy sentence and how you can condense that idea into an emote. And if you look at Try Doubt, if you're able to see it right now, you can see there that the visible wrinkle of the cheek, along with the implied flatness of the forehead, it's like the cheek wrinkle is the disgust, but the lack of forehead wrinkle is also like the unexpected acceptance. So it's kind of like when you drop something, but you catch it, you're like, okay. Like you surprised yourself in like a cool way.
Yeah.
So I've had to train my audience to understand here, Try Doubt is like a 900 IQ emote. When you use it correctly, it feels super satisfying. So it's been gaining traction over time. I have faith in it, but maybe I try too hard a little bit. Pun unintended.
Oh, so I'm not going to go in there and spam you then. All right. I'm going to find the right time to use that
There you go.
All right. My emotes, I love them. I just actually got them commissioned by Young Khan, really incredible artists to work with. My favorite is the cozy. People have been spamming the cozy all day long. I feel like that definitely defines me, which is the one at the end, the purple blanket. And then the Ash, the smile. I love the good smile emote, because I'll just walk into chat and be like, smilers, it's just how I feel all the time.
It's true, though. He's really happy.
So yeah, with that, let's talk about animated emotes. That was a really, really big evolution for Twitch to have animated emotes built in, because we were having to use third-party extensions to have that before. Now it's built in. So I want to hear, Finn, let's start with you. What do you feel? How do you feel about animated emotes? Your animated emotes are some of my favorites.
Wow, thanks. So animated emotes for me opened a whole new universe of ideas, because there are a lot of ideas you can't convey with a static emote. appropriately. So you can try, you can approximate. So like one that, similar to like trihex had, he had the little hands up in the air, and that's good. But when you start first seeing that animated and the hands are slapping back and forth and going wild, that's when you start to really amp it up into a new idea. So these were really able to help express ideas that you couldn't really easily do before. And, if you are commissioning huge batches, you're saving your artist time as well.
Yep, awesome. And Brito, we got to talk about the animated emotes you just worked on. They're amazing.
I thank you, Twitch, for giving us animated emotes. We wanted this for so long. We did the workarounds, I think it's just so awesome that now we can express ourselves. If an emote is, if a picture's 1,000 words, an emote's 1,000,000 words, an animated emote is like, I don't even know that number anymore. Does anyone know? I don't know. I just think it's so fun to have your chat animated with you, to be able to take really fun moments in your stream, like getting pied in the face, or, doing a really funny, silly dance, or this awesome head bobbing that you have here, trihex on this slide. This is just so fun. So, get really creative with it. Take those clips, those top clips you have, those top moments, and make them into animated emotes for your stream. It's very fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think my favorite is like all the dance emotes people do. So like when we have a good like song in a video game, or maybe, you go to a DJ stream or whatever, like those I feel like really make the party poppin', Yeah, awesome. And of course, Gritty Goose, that's one of my favorites. It's just so fun. All right, and then with that, here's some great animated emotes. Look at that. Let's talk about this for a little bit. What's your favorite on the screen here, y'all?
Your Arrive one.
Arrive. It's so good. I love the Wi-Fi, the trihex Wi-Fi. Please tell me about this. What's the lore?
How do I explain that? My Afro is a Wi-Fi signal. Do you have full signal or not? It's used as like a paging all homies. It's a beacon call to summon the homies.
Got
which
it.
I love. It's effectively a bat signal.
Gotcha. And Ugu, I love this dance one. Oh my God, I feel that motion.
Thank you. We actually set it to a very common BPM too, so it works with music.
Ah, that is so smart.
Big brain move. Big brain.
I love that.
That was my husband.
Rito, tell me about these cute ones you got here.
Yeah, these are some more of the Twitch Hype Train emotes I made earlier this year. They gave us a theme, so my theme was sports, and I really wanted it to be true to, I'm a big fan of sports, long time, right? I think the person that works at Twitch that joined me on the call, they're like, you have sports category. I don't think I looked like I like sports, but I love sports. So, I made Batter Up because it's just like, you put another emote next to it, it's like,
It's perfect.
It's gonna whack him.
Also probably good for banning people too. Get out of here. Yeah. Exactly. I'm just gonna take a second also to selfishly shout out Bobby, my cat, the meow. That's my girl. I love her. And
Queen.
That's like one of the most used emotes on my channel. I love that. I love it. Oh, and what's that one above the Wi-Fi? What's that called?
Try GigaChad.
GigaChad.
GigaChad. you can see here that it's me holding it's me casually holding a 45-pound dumbbell, and then there's also me cosplaying as Dark Magician Girl, the original waifu. For all my Yu-Gi-Oh fans out there. Oh no, and I did that shamelessly. I was Dark Magician Girl playing DDR for a sub goal or something. I don't even remember what I did it for, but no, chat loves it.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Well, with the last few minutes we have, I want to go over any advice y'all have for creating emote. Ugu, I'd love to start off with you, and I just want to hear from everybody a little bit.
I would say if you have an idea, try to simplify it in your head, because you're probably thinking you have a lot of details that you think are really important. And if you just kind of take the idea and really boil it down to the most basic idea, there's still ways that your artist can communicate it and brand it to you and your identity as a streamer and still convey the message that you're trying to get across. It'll just look better in chat and everything.
Awesome.
Just be open to the moments. My advice is be aware of what's going on in your community and be ready to hop on that. if they're talking a lot about something all the time, or they're saying those common really long phrases, be ready to, go get that commissioned or figure out how you can make that with your face. And being open to moments. I don't know. If we can get a wide shot of all of us on here, what if we make a funny face right now and we all get a new emote right now for ourselves? Can we get there we go. It's wide on us now. Ready? Now look at the camera, make a funny face.
I'm trying to, my inner Zoolander.
And now we have at least 2 emotes to work with.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I think it's important to take a second to deconstruct whenever an emote virality moment pops off in a chat. For example, when you've had times where you were mid-sentence, but somebody's emote was so potent that it just derailed the entire chat, and you had to immediately mouse over it to see, where's this emote from? Oh my God. You need to think of it like that. I like simulating the idea that if you had one emote to convey your most important distinguishers of your identity, what would it be? Start there and apply that every single time. That would be the killer advice. What is your core essence? Strip down I want a LOL derivative, or I want a global emote X derivative. Who are you at your essence? Figure out what you spend most of your speaking time passionate about, depict that in emote form, and disrupt the game.
Awesome. I love it. Finn.
One thing I really like doing as far as practical advice goes on this is, again, how I want to do a reaction or an emotion. I go to Google Images and I search up anime embarrassed face. And I look up GIFs of that and see how those portray, because those often help create really good ideas, and to circle back to what we were talking about earlier, reference for the artist to then utilize.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you. I think if I was to give any advice, experiment, have fun. I love the idea of creating stuff in MS Paint, make it silly, get some insight from your chat, but ultimately, like trihex said, tell them what they want, just try out some ideas and show them what they want. So, yeah, thank you. I just want to say thank you so much for being here on this amazing panel. I learned so much from y'all. Amazing, amazing. Before y'all run over to the next area, I want to take a photo with everybody here, because this is, I'm just so glad that y'all are here. So if y'all could stick around, but just thank you once again to all of my amazing panelists. Please go and follow all of them on Twitch. You will have a good time. And thank you for coming to this amazing, awesome session. This was Emote Science, and I hope you all learned something here today. So thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
for coming.